what is the most fulfilling aspect of your startup life that you have been doing for a while? What do you feel is most fulfilling in that?
Most fulfilling is that the agility that I get to work on different
Hmm.
stuff. So one example would be there are some of my friends who joined the big companies, the service companies. They're doing a
Mm-hmm.
small part of HR work. So they might be
Hmm.
only doing screening the resume. It has been three
Hmm.
years till now. But for me, it is not that. Like one day I'm just doing screening, next day it is interviewing the candidates, third day it is onboarding. And the other thing is
Hmm.
can I can decide कि कैसा होना चाहिए onboarding structure. There are new things that are out there. I can try it. I can implement it. So as you had mentioned, there are two things like stability or job security which is there. But
Hmm.
along the problems are what people think. But along with that, what gives is that you can try out new things. You can
Hmm.
fail at that, but again reinvent. So you have
Yeah.
that cushion to do that in a startup
Hmm.
and the exposure you get. So when I talk with my peers currently, so that's the thing that when I tell them, "Ki, I do these things," they're like, you get a lot of exposure
Hmm.
early stage to do this much of things.
Yeah, and I think uh, exposure in early years of career is very important
Very
because
important,
that's
yes.
shape up your career. Be it like your involvement in Sanic school has shaped the routine and ritual
Hmm.
and physical activity into you versus now agility, where every organization wants to be in agile,
Ajay,
right?
yeah,
Right? They want to fail fast, learn fast, and
learn
grow
fast.
fast. So it is very important that if people, every individual is aware of that, exposed to it enough, then definitely the organization get a lot of benefit out of
Benefit.
that person. Uh, Also, I wanted to understand because startup is like, you have to work more. It's a narrative. I don't feel like it's every day that you have to work more, right? It's like balance between work and life. And since you are into remote work, right, working remotely from Kerala, I'm working remotely from my home in Saranpur. A lot of people working remotely from their homes, right, or from the mountains or beaches. How you carve out time for yourself working in a startup, and what does a perfect off day looks like for you?
So, yep. So, as you mentioned correctly, it is correct. There are some days where we have to put in that extra hours. Like I
Yeah.
currently might have like three positions going on simultaneously. So
Hmm.
that time for screening resumes, you have to sit a little bit longer, schedule the interviews. But apart from that, the good thing of working at regular startup is they don't measure the time that you have worked, right?
Hmm.
It is productivity or always over over presence. That's even one of the principles which we follow at Revit. Productivity
Hmm.
always over presence. So we have set OKRs, objectives and key results. You
Hmm.
just achieve that, then whatever you do with your free time, nobody looks into that, right? It is not like in
Yeah.
9 o'clock you have to log in, 6 o'clock you log out. We don't. Even I have this debate with other HRs out there. So many people ask me how do you measure productivity? So how do you measure this if you're not tracking the time? So what I ask them is during this time you mentioned, are they productive for you?
Hmm.
Are you measuring that, right? Or are you just measuring this time to build your client? So that's the what is your ROI, right? You want
Yeah.
at last you want your employee to be productive. So give them that opportunity to work flexibly in their own environment to be productive.
Hmm. Very well said. I think this narrative needs to be changed that attendance or presence is not
Yes,
productivity.
product
Output is the
output
productivity.
is the productivity. Yes, yes. Similarly, so there are people who work for 10 hours, but their work is not productive. But you are encouraging that kind of system, then it won't work,
Hmm.
right?
And even as per studies done by Forbes, they say like any employee is 60% productive on an average day, right?
Yeah,
So if you are working for 10 hours, you are actually working for 6 hours.